Good morning. Patrick here, your local chiropractor. This is your daily dose of complete health. And I just wanted to cover something that I have a huge challenge with my clients. This is one of the big challenges that I have with clients. Now, with anybody that's been a client in our clinic, they will know that we will ask on our initial intake forms about what your exercise levels are like, what are your diet levels, how do you consider your diet? And interestingly enough, diet is one of the things that I feel people are most confused about in managing their health complaints. Diet is probably one of the biggest things. Now, it's really interesting when you get people to rate their diet. How do they see their diet and what would they rate their diet? Majority of people will say good to excellent rather than poor. Now, there are some people that are fully aware that their diet is poor and they simply just do not care. However, there are a lot of people that will rate their diet as good or excellent, and realistically, the reason why they've done so is because they do not understand the principles of what entails a good diet and what rules they should be following in order to maintain a good diet. Now, with regards to foods, you must ask yourself some very simple questions in order to understand what you should and shouldn't be eating. Because there will be a multitude of clients that I've had through my career who will tell me that they're eating a well-balanced and good diet, but they simply just cannot lose weight. Now, interestingly enough, I've found if people follow some simple principles, unless they have a food intolerance, they will be able to control and manage their weight. And it is really as simple as a few rules. Now, whenever you're considering how good your diet is, you should be asking yourselves these questions. What is in my food, and can I read the ingredients list? How processed is this food? Is this food a whole food or not? How many calories in this food? And from that calorie count, what benefits will this food pose for me? Now, the reason why you should ask these questions is it is all well and good to occasionally eat stuff like processed foods. However, there are foods that people possibly would not consider processed that they're eating every day. So things like cereals and granolas and breads and baked goods. These would all be considered highly processed foods. Why? Because when you look at wheat, it is a highly processed, milled with all the germ and fiber removed, so it no longer serves a lot of the benefit that food would have benefited us from the beginning, which we have been shown over time can start to lead to bulking of the body. E.g., there is a very high calorie count in refined foods such as flour and sugar. However, they provide very little nutritional benefit to the body, and as a result, people end up eating more calories to make up from the fact that they are not satisfying their needs. So the reason why I talk about stuff like whole foods is whole foods are typically things like fruits, vegetable, lean cuts of meat, dairy, for example. These would all be considered whole foods that haven't gone through a processed event in order to get the food to the plate. Now, interestingly, we will cook and peel and process as far as smoothies, etc. are concerned. But when you're putting those foods together and actually processing them, is it staying the same as an ingredient, or are we having to take something away from it in order to get it where it's going to be? E.g., in the sense of a lot of soya products that are made for vegans. These foods are processed. One of my favorite things that I see on the back of vegan food labels is rehydrated hydrolyzed soya protein. what on earth is rehydrated, processed, whatever? It's not its natural ingredient, and as a result, something would have had to have been taken away. So if you follow these really simple rules of making sure you're eating the calories based on your BMR, and if you don't know what your BMR is, this is your basal metabolic rate, which is essentially how many calories does your body use on an average day based on your activity levels, your heights, your age, and your wage. If you're eating within your calories, you're eating whole foods that are supplying the right antioxidants and vitamins with the right levels of carbohydrates and proteins, you're not eating highly processed foods that are high in sugar and salt, there is almost no reason why that person will not lose weight unless they are eating something that is a high tolerance or there is another health concern like a thyroid problem going on. So it's simple. If you're eating a whole foods diet that's within your calorific intake, which has got the right level of antioxidants and nutrients for your needs, there is no reason why that person should not lose weight or should not be able to maintain a healthy lifestyle without high levels of health conditions. Because what we know is one of the biggest causes of health disease on this planet is not getting the adequate volumes of exercise and not eating the right level of diet and exposing ourselves to way too many carcinogens and chemicals throughout our life that can start to create these problems. So maybe it's really confusing, but it can be really simple. It can be really simple. And if you follow these ground rules, there should be no reason why it doesn't work for you. Patrick here from Complete Health. This is your daily dose. If you ever need any more advice, please don't be scared to get in touch and we'll try and get you on the right path. Take care for now. Speak to you soon.